Assalamualaikum everyone. Mera naam Sohaa Ahmed hai, and I am the director of Healthy Minds program as well as the international advocate for Manzil Educational Organization. I'm here with Ashhad Qureshi, who is the author of the book Mera Jism Mera Hai, and we're very excited because finally हमें chance मिला है Ashhad से बात करने का, and it has been super something that we've been waiting for because this book has been a very enlightening what do you call new idea in the Pakistani community as well as for people who are abroad. I think it's something very new. So Ashhad, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, thank you for having me. Assalamualaikum everyone. Mera naam Ashhad Qureshi hai. I recently graduated from the University of Chicago with a degree in South Asian language and civilizations. मैं काफ़ी सालों से ज़हनी सेहत के हवाले से काम कर रहा हूँ. I used to work in a lot of public health organizations in the past, specifically in the mental health department. और फिर जब मैं US में पढ़ने के लिए गया था, वहाँ पे मैंने RAIN की and hotline join की, which is a national sexual assault hotline, जहाँ पे मैं जिनसी तशद्दुद और हरासा की जो मुतासिरीन हैं उनकी मैं मदद करता हूँ. So I've been working as part of that for the past 2 years.
Okay, awesome. So Ashhad, this book that you've written, it's definitely been a storm for a lot of people. मुझे याद है जब मेरी cousin ने पहली दफ़ा आपके बारे में बताया था, you were all over Facebook and you were getting a lot of attention, which is amazing because this is just what we need in the Pakistani society as well as in the international Pakistani community abroad. So I just want you कि अगर आप थोड़ा सा अपनी इस बुक के बारे में बताएं, इस बुक को दिखाएं, बताएं इसके बारे पीछे मोटिव क्या था, आपने क्यों लिखी ये बुक, and where the idea basically came from.
Yeah, of course. तो किताब basically बच्चों को और वालिदैन को सिखाती है कि क्या कहते हैं बच्चे अपने आप को गैर मतलूब छूने से कैसे महफूज रख सकें या फिर उस सूरत में उन्हें क्या करना चाहिए. The motivation behind this book was basically through the hotline, because जब मैं hotline पे काम कर रहा था और अभी भी करता हूँ, unfortunately आपको ये अंदाज़ा होता है कि कितने सारे बच्चे से हर रोज़ मुतासिर होते हैं, and not just obviously in Pakistan, like all around the world. और जब मैं इन बच्चों से बात करता था तो मुझे एहसास हुआ कि सबसे बड़ी जो रुकावट आती है वो ये है कि बच्चों के साथ ये हो रहा होता है, वो उनके पास वो अल्फाज नहीं होते कि अपने पेरेंट्स को बताएं, और ना ही वो एक रिश्ता होता है उनके साथ डेवलप हुआ हुआ कि वो समझे कि हाँ भी अगर मेरे साथ कुछ कभी इस तरह का हो तो मैं अपने पेरेंट्स को बता सकूं. तो ये जब मेरे साथ प्रॉब्लम सामने आई तो मैंने खुद सोचा कि जब मैं बड़ा हो रहा था तो इस तरह की कॉन्वर्सेशंस मैंने भी नहीं की थी अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ. दिस इज जस्ट नॉट समथिंग दैट्स नॉर्मलाइज्ड. एंड US में हमारे पास on the hotline we do offer a lot of resources in terms of like books and stuff for parents. और फिर मैंने इस चीज़ से सर्च किया था कि पाकिस्तान में कोई इस तरह की किताब हो जो छोटे बच्चों के लिए हो, because research shows कि ये 3 से 5 साल की उम्र में बच्चों के साथ ये कॉन्वर्सेशन होनी चाहिए, तब वो इतने समझदार होते हैं कि वो समझ सकें कौन से उनकी बॉडी पार्ट्स हैं that stay private and things like that. So realizing that there was a need for this book, मैंने सोचा कि using my experience on the hotline and using the kind of network that I had working with public health, mental health organizations in Pakistan, कि मैं खुद undertake करूँ ये task to actually write something for children as well as parents. तो तब से मैंने शुरू किया था. I started writing. It's been a year now. मैंने पिछले जून में लिखना शुरू किया था. And the whole process was also very thorough and it took a lot of time. पहले मैंने बहुत सारी इस पे already जो existing मौजूदा किताबें हैं वो मैंने पढ़ी that exist in other languages. फिर मैंने obviously उसको ये भी देखना पड़ा था कि भाई ये हमारे culture के हिसाब से लिखी गई है या नहीं, because a lot of the times ये जो चीज़ें हैं they're written for other countries, other cultures that don't necessarily apply to our specific culture. और जाहिर सी बात है बहुत सारे ऐसे अल्फाज भी होते हैं इंग्लिश में that we don't really have Urdu translations for, या हम रोज़मर्रा की ज़बान में इस्तेमाल नहीं करते. Things like privacy, body boundaries, personal space, we don't really have words for them in Urdu that we use on a regular basis. तो पहले पूरी कहानी लिखने के बाद फिर I reached out to my friends who are clinical psychologists, psychiatrists, mental health workers. उन्होंने इस किताब की कंटेंट को वेट किया. हमने पूरा एक सेशन रखा था उनके साथ where we went over all the content. हर एक लाइन हमने पढ़ी, we scrutinized it. And then उसके बाद we went out to the community and then we piloted the book in the community as well. क्योंकि ज़ाहिर है unless they are okay with the content, there's no point in writing this book. क्योंकि मेरा मकसद ही पूरा ये है कि ये पैगाम मैं बच्चों को पेरेंट्स तक पहुंचा सकूं कि ये कॉन्वर्सेशन किस तरह से करनी है बच्चों के साथ. So unless वो इसमें शामिल हो, वो इसके कंटेंट में उनकी भी रजामंदी शामिल हो, there's no point of creating something like this. So once all of that was done, then finally, alhamdulillah, we went into publishing, it went into printing, and now we have the book, which I will just go on to show right now.
Yes, हम book दिखाएं हैं, बहुत eagerly wait कर रहे हैं.
तो ये है book का cover, मेरा जिस्म मेरा है. ये कहानी बेसिकली इसके जो मरकजी किरदार है उसका नाम सारा है, और सारा एक बच्ची है, बहुत क्या कहते हैं मासूम सी, शरारती, कहानियां सुनने का शौक है, उसको क्रिकेट खेलने का शौक है, लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा उसको स्कूल जाने में मजा आता है. तो ये पूरी कहानी इसके ही अराउंड है कि वो स्कूल जाती है और फिर उनकी जो टीचर है मरियम आपा, वो उनको उस दिन सबक सिखाती हैं कि वो कौन से जिस्म के हिस्से हैं जो सिर्फ ना ही जिनको कोई छू नहीं सकता, बल्कि बच्चे भी या कोई भी उन जगहों पर किसी और को नहीं छू सकता. तो ये पूरी तफसील से बात होती है, और उसके अगर कोई छुए तो उसके क्या रिएक्शंस होते हैं, क्या जज्बात होते हैं, और आप लोग क्या कर सकते हैं उस सूरत हाल में. तो the book goes over all of this. In the end, we also have an activity for children where they can build their social support network. कि अगर किसी के साथ खुदा न खास्ता होता है तो वो कौन से लोग हैं उनके पास ऑलरेडी होने चाहिए, क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है जब इस तरह के वाक़यात होते हैं तो ये बहुत मतलब सदमा आवर होते हैं. तो उस टाइम पे इतना सोचने का वक्त नहीं होता, ना ही आपकी मेंटल कैपेसिटी होती है कि आप पूरा अपना सेफ्टी प्लान बनाएं. तो ये चीज़ें एहतियात के तौर पे पहले से ही बनी होनी चाहिए. So this activity goes through who are the trusted people in your circle that you can reach out to if something like this happens. And then एक पूरा सेक्शन है वालिदैन के लिए, हिदायत के लिए, जिसमें we go over जो गलत फहमियाँ हैं इस मौजू पे लोगों की जनरली होती हैं, या कौन से अलामात हैं जो होते हैं in kids who have been sexually abused, for example. And then we also go into strategies as well as resources में जो पाकिस्तान में available हैं for people who have been through this, for survivors and their loved ones. So that is the end of the book. So as you can see, all the illustrations, all the pictures are very intentionally made बच्चों को center, बच्चों को ही focus रखते हुए. I wanted to make sure कि पाकिस्तान के लिए किताब बन रही है तो जो बच्चे हों वो भी पाकिस्तानी ही बच्चे हों, right? So everyone can relate to it. So we have characters of all different colors. The main character itself is more darker skin than we see in other books because that is our skin tone and we should embrace it. Absolutely. So a lot of aspects were very intentional in this book.
Absolutely. So I really like that, आपने एनो जो activities लगाई and आपने resources भी mention किए कि कौन-कौन से resources available हैं. I remember कि एक website है और एक number दिया हुआ है, right? And I think that's so important क्योंकि even now हमें इतनी इस चीज़ का नहीं है कि पाकिस्तान में इस तरह के resources हैं भी या नहीं, क्योंकि अगर आप एक lay person से पूछें तो उनको नहीं पता होता ये resources नहीं है या नहीं. तो we need to broadcast these resources के services हैं available. ये सिर्फ बाहर की चीज़ नहीं है, पाकिस्तान में भी ये चीज़ें हैं, resources available हैं, counseling lines हैं जहाँ पे आप call कर सकते हैं and you can ask for help. And I really like कि आपने जो एक circle बनाया वो बहुत important है because like you said उस वक्त you don't have the what do you call mindset to know exactly what you're supposed to do next, or even if there is a certain situation that arises, you need to be prepared. So I liked कि आपने already बच्चों को बता दिया कि ये आपके safety net है और आप इन लोगों से इनके पास जा सकते हैं and everything. So I really liked how you put these intentional exercises at the end. I think that's a very different thing. एक चीज़ जो आपने बोली वो ये थी कि हमें इस टॉपिक के ऊपर और इस तरह के टॉपिक्स के ऊपर पाकिस्तानी कल्चर में नहीं बात की जाती. And I want to ask you basically कि this is definitely a topic that is very sensitive to a lot of people and still people are having a very difficult time accepting it. So why do you think we need to, apart from the fact that there cases happening and stuff, why do you feel like we need to change that mindset कि ये बातें नहीं की जाती या ये बातें गलत बातें हैं, इन बातों पे नहीं बात किया, इन चीज़ों पे नहीं बात की जाती. And why do you think parents need to be the forefront of addressing these kinds of issues and talking to their children at such a young age, like you said, from the age of 3 to 5, when they're fully aware of their body parts? So why do you think we need to have these discussions?
Right. So जैसे हम लोग बात करते थे, these kind of conversations are very taboo in our culture. लेकिन अफसोस की बात ये है कि हम बात इस मौजू पे कर रहे नहीं है, but that doesn't mean कि इस तरह के हादसात हो रहे नहीं है, right? इस तरह के वाक़यात नहीं लोगों के साथ हो रहे. And the only way to best prepare ourselves, because ये भी कोई चीज़, एक नागहानी है, कभी, किसी भी notice के साथ नहीं आती. You can never predict when this might happen to someone. So the best thing we can do is be prepared. And uske liye, to make sure that children especially are prepared for this, and obviously they will take that lesson throughout their entire lives, right? This isn't something जो बच्चों के साथ ही सिर्फ होती है और बच्चों पे ही जाके खत्म हो जाती है. It's a life lesson. जैसे हम बच्चों की तरबियत करते हैं, उनको मैनर्स सिखाते हैं, बड़ों का अदब करना सिखाते हैं, उसी तरह से ये भी मौजू बिल्कुल उसी तरह का है कि भाई आपके ये बॉडी पार्ट्स हैं that are special, that are private, that should stay private, and that you are क्या कहते हैं, completely, you are in ownership of your own body.
Absolutely.
So it's very important to have these kind of conversations with children from a very young age, especially in a society where we do have very high cases of child abuse, and it is also very taboo to talk about them. Because जाहिर सी बात है, जब इस तरह की हादसात होते हैं, बहुत सदमावर होते हैं, it can really scar someone for their entire life, right? And आपका मतलब ये, if you don't get the right support, एक इस तरह की चीज होती है जिससे किसी भी बच्चे का बचपन ही छिन जाता है from them, right? And no one deserves to go through something like that. So in order to actually raise awareness about this issue, in order to educate our children as well as parents, and ज़ाहिर है parents का सबसे बड़ा हाथ इसलिए है because they're the ones raising the children, right? They are the ones who protect their children, who instill values in them. So they're the ones who have to really be the flag bearers to have this conversation with their children.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that this is such an important life lesson. I feel like that's something that we don't look into. एक स्टिग्मा है इन चीज़ों के ऊपर कि हम अगर इस चीज़ के ऊपर बात करेंगे तो हम अपने बच्चों को करप्ट कर देंगे. But that's actually not true, because you're actually teaching them that life lesson, how to protect yourself from people who are not safe. And I definitely agree with you. This is something we want to talk about and we need to talk about. It's high time that we discuss these issues. So I think जैसे आपने कहा कि उस mindset से निकलना है कि ये चीजें taboo हैं, ये taboo नहीं है. These are things that need to be definitely discussed. Now, one of my last questions for you is, where do you see this book basically going, and how do you feel that this is going to impact the community in Pakistan? अभी आप different organizations के साथ आपने connect किया है, मंजिल के साथ connect किया है और दूसरी organizations के साथ भी connect किया है. And inshallah, we're excited that we're going to be doing different projects with you. So where do you see that this book, how do you feel that it's going to impact people in the next, let's say, 10-15 years? Where do you wish that the impact would go to?
Yeah, I definitely wish that this becomes like a household read for children growing up everywhere in Pakistan, where it's like a staple. Just say, I remember like we grew up reading like fables and things like that. And पहले बच्चों के magazines वगैरह भी आते थे, like तालीम व तरबियत and नौनिहाल and things like that. So I want this to also become a very integral part of someone growing up, where they already have this information from a very young age, so that they're aware of it. I hope that it gets implemented in schools. Like you guys will hopefully take this forward in a campaign, and obviously I alone cannot reach out to as many people. So I need everyone to be on board, and I need as much help as I possibly can get, so that there's no one who hasn't been reached out to. So like you said, I've reached out to other organizations as well. A lot of schools have also taken this book up and implemented in their own schools, which I'm very, very excited and happy about. So I think aista aista hi change shuru hoga, and it'll start with us. It'll start with people in these organizations, people like yourself, people like me, or even इतने बड़े पैमाने पे भी अगर हम ना सोचें, हमारे घरों से शुरू होती है बात. A lot of my friends actually purchased this book for their, you know, younger siblings or younger cousins, or even like for the house help they have at home, unke bachchon ke liye. So, you know, we have such interconnected communities. Hamare itne bade bade khandaan hote hain, and we are so well connected and social. So we really, each of us has so much potential and agency to actually create change in the communities around us. So I hope that जिस तरह से, you know, Manzil is taking this forward, जिस तरह से you are working hard, and we've had this conversation before where you have had this conversation with your daughter as well. तो इसी तरह से we can take this forward, every individual creating that change within their own circles and communities.
And I think that's what's important, right? You need to bring that change in your own household and in your own mindset, right? You need to take that. It is a difficult step for a lot of parents. It's not an easy topic to talk about, right? But I think we need to take that step towards this change, because we need to bring that change into our community and even into our household, right? We need to teach our kids that this is a life lesson and you need to learn it. It's important. So I completely agree. And just for the record, I do want to tell everyone that inshallah, we're super excited that we're going to be collaborating with Ashhad on this new venture. We're at the Healthy Minds program, which is the new program at Manzil that looks into the mental health of the students and teachers at Manzil. We will be actually introducing this as part of our curriculum, inshallah, in the next year. And we will, once the school starts, we are excited that, you know, first we're going to start off with a campaign on this. And we're going to actually educate the underprivileged students and their parents on this, especially the mothers, because we feel like those are going to be people, those are the community members that will be easier to connect with, definitely. So first we're going to start off with the mothers, then we're going to start talking to the parents as a whole group. And then inshallah, we'll be teaching this book and talking about this book and having discussions on this book with our students all the way from Montessori all the way to high school, inshallah, as part of our curriculum. So we're excited that through the teachers, ये हम book को introduce करेंगे Manzil school पे, and इस चीज़ के लिए मैं definitely wait कर रही हूँ कि जल्द से जल्द school खुले तो हम ये करें. लेकिन definitely it's such a pleasure that, you know, we were able to discuss this. And as you know that I'm waiting that when I come to Pakistan, you are going to send me a copy for my daughter. It is going to be part of her collection. But I just want to tell everyone that, you know, this is something that हमें इस चीज़ के बारे में बात करनी है. And I love that, you know, आपने बोला कि हमारी families इतनी interconnected होती हैं, हमें इस चीज़ के, you know, हर जगह पहुंचाना है. You know, मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स से बात करनी है, मैंने अपने रिश्तेदारों से बात करनी है, उनको बताना है इस चीज़ के बारे में. So I think this is amazing and we need to talk about this. Ashhad, just the last thing I want to ask you is that how can we get this book if we want to order it, or if anyone in Pakistan or abroad wants to order it, how can we get it?
Yeah, so it's available through a website called Dastan, which is the name of the publisher of this book. And you can probably put a link for everyone who watches this later. But so you can order that online. It ships all over Pakistan and globally. Yeah, so you just place an order online, they'll confirm it, and then you can have it at your doorstep.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you so much, Ashhad. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
No, inshallah, once Manzil starts, हम definitely आपको लाएंगे Manzil school पे और आपको introduce भी करेंगे सब बच्चों के साथ. And we're excited to start this new venture for you. Venture with you. So
I would be honored to be there.
Challenge, very good. Inshallah, guys, talk to you all very, very soon. I hope you enjoyed this little session of ours with Ashhad Qureshi, the author of Mera Jism Mera Hai. And inshallah, we'll all catch up with you very, very soon. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.